start to see some of these traits and you're like, oh yeah, I'm kind of like that. What's important to understand is that you need to understand everybody else's or what all the traits are in order to be able to just continue. In order to be able to understand how to work with other people who have different personality traits, right? So let's get started. Why is it important to understand other people, well, or each other really? It's because we might all be human, but we're actually built a little bit differently. You know, not just physically, not just spiritually, but mentally and personally. So, you know, obviously everybody knows Mark, Buddy and I are related. You know, we may look similar, we may not, but the reality is that we're not the same. You know what I mean? We are different. So, you know, I guess I'm very big on analogies, and I like to explain to people why, you know, why I'm trying to get through this stuff and do any sort of training or anything when it comes to my personal relationships with people. But, you know, for example, let's take this. You know, we all talk about the global languages. Most of us might know one, some of us may know two different languages as an example, but, you know, others we won't. And so, you know, it's kind of a bit, personalities and love languages are a bit like that. Sometimes we kind of know what we like and what we're attracted to and what we appreciate, but we don't know what others may feel and appreciate, you know, and the way that they're driven day to day, you know, whether it's in business or with personal stuff. So, you know, we may not understand other languages, but what if we could actually understand the people in our business better, or, you know what, even people just in your personal life or in your family, understand what makes them tick, understand what their personalities are, what their love language is. You know, do you think that could actually potentially help you understand them better and create more effective relationships with them? I personally think so. And like I said, you know, when I first did this training, I was mind blown. I was actually sitting next to Buddy. It was Active World Team and above training. And I just said to him, Buddy, this is going to revolutionize our business. If we can start to understand what makes people tick now that we understood this particular training, then you kind of, you know yourself, you start to learn about yourself more. Because let me tell you guys, you know, believe it or not, sometimes we don't look at ourselves in the mirror and reflect openly and honestly about who we are and how we're built and what actually makes us happy or whatever. But, you know, if you could actually start to help people with their love language or their particular personality by understanding them better, you're only going to build a bit better relationship over a long period of time. And we all know that Herbalife's not an overnight success. It's not a short-term game. We're talking about building long-term relationships over a very, very long period of time with people. And you know, some of you are brand new to this call tonight, and I do appreciate everybody jumping on. But for those that have been around for a little bit longer, kind of have already seen this to some degree, where I've had people disappear for years on end, but because I had a great relationship with them and I understood what it is that made them tick, they felt very comfortable to come back to me, whether it's been 2, 3. I had a girl that came to me 18 months ago, come back to me and reach out. I've had people from 4 years ago come back and reach out because I understood and I delivered on their traits, you know, sort of tapped into their traits. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do this in 2 sections, guys. So we've got the GEMS Mastery section, which is kind of all about personality, and there's 4. And I'd write these down. You got your Emerald, and probably break your page into 4 so that you can write each one what they are, because we're about to break down what each of them are. So write Emerald, write your Pearl, write your Ruby, and write your Sapphire, but leave gaps in between them so that you can actually write those traits, okay? Wow, massive call tonight, guys. Well done on getting on. So let's get started with the personality stuff. And this is the stuff that I went through with on Enrique. So let's start with Emerald. And what I want you guys to do is this: focus on what these things are, but understand that you might look at these and go, well, I'm none of them. That's cool, but I still need you to write them. Why do I need you to write them? Is because the reality of it is you will come across people like this in your team and you'll learn how to work with them better, okay? So this may be you, someone on the call. To you, everything makes sense. If it's in numbers, you know, if you have a color by number system, you're very much a thinker, you're an analyzer, you love spreadsheets, you love to have everything correlated and put in order. You know, you're very, very much a person that pays attention to detail. You ask a lot of questions. So, you get a lot of people, perhaps you get a lot of people in your business that just constantly come at you with questions about, how many scoops in this and how many, it doesn't matter, right? We're going to correlate it back to just an overall personality. They love to love planning. They really love scheduling stuff in. They diarize everything. They have calendar entries. Everything's scheduled, right? Everything. Like you'll never ever not come across a person like this, that when you open up their calendar on their phone or their diary, if they have a diary still, literally hour by hour for the day, they've planned out their day. Okay. So that's what we would call someone that has the personality trait of an emerald. Okay. Now I want something else to be clear too, guys. You don't necessarily, you may not necessarily be one or the other. Okay. You may actually be one completely, or you might have parts of other stones. So you may look at someone and go, oh yeah, but I'm that too. And then I'm a bit of that. That's great. It's no problem. You can actually be very lopsided, and I'll explain after we've gone through it. I'll explain just how I started, and you can change. You can change. So next one, Pearl. So this is the, I love this, save the whales. Yeah, this is the type of person that you kind of see doing the whole save the world. Driven by good cause. They are very much non-confrontational. They avoid confrontation by any means. But by no means are they pushovers. They're a very humble person, very understanding person. Quite often can be introverts. I remember when Enrico spoke about this particular one, and I will relate this particular example to our business. If you had a Pearl in your business, you wouldn't force them to get up and run a presentation, where they're speaking in front of hundreds or thousands of people, because it would scare the hell out of them and probably scare them out of the business. That sort of personality, very quiet. Not to say that they can't grow. Like I said, guys, you can change. You can have parts of different personality traits. But the reality is you've got to tread carefully in certain areas with someone that's introverted. You can't be a buddy and go, good morning. You can't expect them to go out and do that kind of thing, right? So that's a Pearl. Let's go with Ruby. Now, Ruby's someone that takes charge. Very, very dominating attitude. Not arrogant as such, but very dominant, wants to lead. So there's someone that's a go-getter, very strong opinions, big dreamers, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, guys, but big dreamers, driven by reward. They love to be rewarded for what they do. Very hardworking. I did say love to lead, there it is there. And just love life in general, right? So, it was interesting because I may as well touch on this now. When I did this back in, when was it, buddy? Was it 2017 or 18? I was very much a heavy Ruby. And now, as time has progressed, guys, I've actually started to become less Ruby, more Emerald. And it's because I've grown personally. I like to be I still like to take charge and I like to lead, but I also am more organized. So I have a lot more of that, want to schedule stuff in so that I know how my day's set up and it's planned, and I can still lead and I can still work hard, and I'm still a big dreamer, let me tell you, and I'm a go-getter, but I love scheduling stuff, and I'm very much between the two. Okay. Just to give you guys an idea. Sapphire. Here's the life of the party. This is the class clown, okay? So when you've got a Sapphire, they're motivated by fun, and we all know in this business, it's a little bit about being fun, simple, and magical. These guys are the ones that really get dressed up they love the big shiny earrings, and they love the really bright colors. Yeah. They're happy, they're positive, they just love people, maybe a little bit messy. But they're very friendly, joke a lot, a lot of humor goes on with these guys. But they're very good at welcoming others. And have a think about this, guys, in our business. What's one of the things that people feel when they first join our business? Maybe a little bit daunted, a little bit scared, a little bit worried, apprehensive about the fact that, what is this business? Some people like myself in the beginning were quite skeptical. When you get someone that comes in and very welcoming, it makes you feel more at home, and you need these people in your team, So, this is, I guess, because we're finishing up on gems now, but I want to touch on a couple of points here. is that what's important is that there is different personalities in your business. You'll come across them. What you need to understand is sometimes you get frustrated rather than fascinated with the way that people are acting, because you're like, why are they like that? I'm kind of starting to hope that you guys understand that you have different personalities in your business, and rather than getting frustrated with them, you can potentially use them to your advantage, to be able to leverage them for different aspects of your business. Like, you know, Sapphire might frustrate you because you're a very serious person and this person's a class clown, always wants to make jokes. But the reality of that person is that they would be really, really amazing at welcoming people at a boot camp, or when you've got them in the 21-day challenge and these people are getting introduced and they're starting to you know, the day one and the day twos, you know, these guys are jumping in and, you know, doing the welcoming. Yeah, good on you, welcome, congratulations on joining. That's the kind of people that you need in your team to help you grow complete as a unit, you know, an organization. So just touching on both these things that we're doing tonight, guys, that's an overview. We're just doing overviews tonight of everything. What I need you to understand is that we're going to create units. As you guys have seen in the Team Raw page, we've got units, we've got modules, and those training modules. Basically, what we're going to get you to do when you're ready is it's going to form part of those modules, where we'll actually put the link in to work out what you are. Okay, and it'd be amazing to understand everybody, you know, because I'm sure everybody here would love to get an idea on what you are, or whether you're across 2 or 3 stones. You're actually get a bit of a trait of all 4, to be honest. There's a percentage, but one could be quite low. So yeah, Buddy and I work on getting those into the modules. Okay, so in relation to